Hello and welcome to Reboot Theater. I'm your host, the Invisible Man. Today I'd like to talk about one of my all-time favorite movies, Kingsman! Oh yes, do I love this movie! To anyone who hasn't seen the original Kingsman movie, let me give you some advice. Drop whatever you're doing and go rent it. No, actually, go buy it. Because, trust me, this is a movie you'll want to see more than once. And no, this isn't a paid promotion. Fox did not sponsor this video. I just genuinely love this film that much. Kingsman redefines the spy genre. It's a great callback to the classic Bond films, with the cool gadgets, eccentric villains, and the hero who magically dodges bullets without even trying. And I loved every minute of it! So when the trailer for the sequel was released, I orgasmed with delight. And no, that's not an exaggeration. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Very American.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, baby. Oh yeah. Needless to say, I was excited for more Kingsman. So just how jaw-dropping was this follow-up to the legendary Kingsman: The Secret Service? Pretty good. Yeah, that's really the best way I can describe it. It wasn't a bad movie. It wasn't even mediocre. It was definitely good. But if the first movie was 24 karat gold, and believe me, it is, the second film is silver at best. Which is not uncommon for a sequel, especially when the first film sets the bar so high. It's pretty hard to top it. So, is this as good as the first film? No. But can this sequel stand on its own 2 feet? Let's find out. This is Kingsman: The Golden Circle. So right away, the movie gives us exactly what we want. A cool car chase featuring our hero from the first film, Eggsy, played by Taron Egerton. We also see the douchebag rich guy from the last film, Charlie, played by Edward Holcroft. Thanks to Eggsy, in the last film he lost his arm. Now he's back for revenge. Wow, how original. Eggsy defeats him in a pretty cool fight scene, where he actually rides outside the car a few times and climbs back in. Once he regains control of the car, Wait a minute. You had machine guns this whole time? And you didn't think to use them when he was totally exposed on the roof of the car? Oh well, after blowing the bad guys to hell, he then ditches the cops in his submarine car. Yes, he has a submarine car, and it is awesome. But as Eggsy leaves, he forgets Charlie's robo-hand in the back seat, which it turns out was a Trojan horse to hack Kingsman servers using the car. He then goes back home to join his girlfriend. Oh no. No, they didn't. Oh, come on! Okay, the princess from the first film is now his girlfriend? Okay, guys, when she was a one-night stand, it was funny. The spy saves the world and gets the girl. That's the end of it. But now they're in a committed relationship? This is ludicrous! What do we actually know about this girl anyway? Well, she's a princess, she's a comically bad baker, and that's about it! Like, is there really enough character to work with here? Whose idea was it to make a one-off character an actual part of the movie? That's like giving David Pumpkins a full-length animated TV special.
Halloween's most beloved character is finally getting his own animated special.
It is I, David Pumpkins, the Halloween guy, man!
Do not go watch that. Please, trust me, just don't. So Eggsy goes to Sweden with Tildy for a dinner with her parents. But while he's there, someone launches a huge missile attack on all the known Kingsmen, killing Arthur, Roxy, and... No. Not JB! Not Jack Bauer, no! No! Why? Why did you have to shoot the dog? Oh, and those other agents are dead too. But no, doggy, why? The launcher of the missiles is revealed to be Poppy Adams, played by Julianne Moore, who I swear is just a continuation of the role she did in Carrie.
Hey, your old pal Charles has messed up. That's all I'm gonna tell you, because that's all you need to know, so put him in a mincer, okay?
Oh dear God, no. And in case anyone is wondering why veganism is becoming popular, that's why. You never know where meat comes from. Okay, this lady is already 10 times the villain Sam Jackson was. But then she goes all the way when she does this.
This.
Oh my god. That burger has no pickles on it. It's all wrong. Remind me again why I'm working for Hitler. Seriously, she doesn't even take the bones out of that flesh burger. That's so messed up. So Eggsy returns to the rubble that used to be his home and finds the sole survivor of the attack, Merlin.
What, you think I'd kill Roxy? And my mate Brandon and my f***ing dog?
No, you think I would?
So the last two surviving agents follow Doomsday Protocol and go to a special safe to find a bottle of whiskey inside. You can guess what happens next.
I think we should drink a toast to our fallen comrades.
Should have seen it coming. Charlie, the taxi's all my fault.
But on the inside of the label, Eggsy notices the Kingsman logo and determines that the distillery is an ally of the Kingsman. Clever message. I mean, you probably could have just left them a note. Go to this address, they are friendlies. But nope, sure, I guess a tiny footnote that someone could easily miss works just as well. The duo travel to Kentucky, where they find a secret spy entrance to the factory out in the open. Who would put a secret door in that spot? Don't you think someone's gonna notice? Mommy, why are those weird guys walking through the wall? Oh, hush, Billy. Ghosts don't exist. Once inside, they try to find the secret lab, but get stopped by Channing Tatum? Whoa, what's he doing here?
That's 1963 Statesman Reserve. You just made it personal.
Granted, I just tainted the entire barrel with my chewing tobacco, but that's different. After a pointless fight scene, seeing as they are allies, Tatum takes them to their secret lab, where they meet Halle Berry? Wow, they really pulled out all the stops for this, didn't they? And then it's revealed that a certain someone is back. Gasp! What a twist! Or it would have been if I hadn't seen any of the trailers or posters for this movie, but they showed him in all the previews! The marketers ruined the reveal! What's wrong with you? That's right, Harry Hart survived. In the last movie, when Sam Jackson made all the bullies kill each other, still my favorite scene in the entire film, the American agents detected the strange spike in radio waves and sent a chopper to investigate. They got there just as Jackson was leaving and saved Harry's life from his fatal gunshot wound.
We developed our alpha gel technology for our own agents, in the event of a headshot. The gel protects the brain. Then in the lab, we use nanites, microbots, to repair tissue damage.
Now, I actually have some mixed feelings about this. On one hand, alright, Colin Firth is back! He kicked so much ass last time, and I'm eager to see him kick some more! But on the other hand, it kind of undermines his sacrifice. In both the book and the movie, this was the defining moment for Eggsy. He fully committed to being the best agent he could possibly be, because he wanted to honor his dead mentor and make sure he didn't die for nothing. But if you bring him back, oh well, I guess his death was meaningless. If death is not final, it loses all meaning, because you can resurrect anyone you want at any time. Supernatural. So yeah, Colin Firth, I'm glad he's back, but it's still a dick move. It's also revealed that Harry has amnesia as a side effect of the alpha gel. He doesn't remember anything about his time as a Kingsman agent, and instead wants to be a lepidopterist. Google it. I know you have internet. They tried jogging his memory with some training exercises, but nothing seems to work.
I doubt whether I'd work for anyone who drowns their employees. I want to go home.
Meanwhile, Eggsy and Merlin meet the leader of the American spies, Jeff Bridges? Okay, where's the camera? Somebody's pranking me. How can you have this many great names in one movie? The dude tells them they are the American cousins of the Kingsmen, known as the Statesmen. While the Kingsmen are gentlemen named after Arthurian legend, the Statesmen are cowboys named after alcohol. You have champagne, tequila, whiskey, and ginger ale? Since when is ginger ale alcoholic? Ginger ale is a soft drink for sick children, not drink you order at the bar. Ginger ale. Why did you name her Ginger Ale? Well, what's next? You got a junior agent named Kitty Cocktail? Or a medic named Dr. Pepper? Ginger ale? She's not even ginger, she's brunette, so I don't know where they come up with that name. Champagne briefs the agents on Julianne Moore's organization, the Golden Circle. Moore is the leader of the world's largest drug cartel, and she's laced her entire drug supply with a slow-acting toxin that will kill all the drug users of the world unless a cure is administered.
What have you done to me, you f***ing bitch?
Oh yeah, did I not mention Elton John is in this movie? Apparently Moore kidnapped him and no one has noticed he's gone missing yet. Okay, I know he's not as popular as he used to be, but come on! Nobody noticed he was missing? Elton John is a friggin' legend! So Eggsy goes to Glastonbury to find Charlie's girlfriend, who can lead them to the Golden Circle. He plans to go with Agent Tequila, but he gets Julianne Moore's blue rash, so he's on bed rest for the rest of the movie. Wait, really? You got Channing Tatum to be in this, and you only have him in the very beginning? Why not do more with him? Okay, you know what? It's fine. At least we get a lot of Jeff Bridges. What? 10 minutes? That's all the screen time he gets? 10 minutes? You got the dude himself! How could you waste the dude? Okay, you know what? Personally, I like Halle Berry better than both those two anyway. So I'm sure she'll play a major role, correct? Oh, well, what does she do? Secretary? That's it? What is with this movie wasting good talent? So instead, Eggsy goes to the festival with Senior Agent Whiskey. Their plan is to seduce the contact and put a tracking device on her. Alright, that's a very James Bond thing to do. But what's not James Bond at all is when he calls his girlfriend to ask for permission to do his job.
It's better that I'm honest with you, rather than me doing it and not telling you.
Okay, dude. Here's the deal. Real secret agents don't ask their girlfriends to be okay with what they do. As a spy, you do whatever the job requires of you. And if you think your girlfriend would be uncomfortable with it, then don't tell her. You're a spy. You keep secrets for a living. And besides, it's not like he's having an affair for pleasure. It's strictly business. So he shouldn't feel any guilt over this. The lives of billions are at stake, man. Forget about Tildy and think about the mission. After planting the tracker, Eggsy returns to the base, where Harry is packing his bags to leave the Statesman facility.
Listen, you can't just give up.
Give up? No, on the contrary, I'm about to achieve my dream. Researching rare butterflies alongside some of the finest minds in entomology.
You know, you may as well have me stuck up on this wall, because you're never going to find a butterfly more interesting than me. I was just like a maggot.
Maggots turn into flies. Perhaps you mean larvae.
Lava, yeah, okay, whatever. The point is, everyone wanted to squash me.
When does this get interesting? Seriously, we're an hour in already, and we still haven't seen Harry kick ass!
Eggy, wherever the Harry was that you knew, he's gone, I'm afraid.
So, to mourn losing his mentor for a second time, Eggsy goes down to the local pub to drown his sorrows in booze and emphasize just how bad his love life is. Not since Suicide Squad has there been a bar scene so uninteresting. Seriously, what is up with this relationship problem story arc? Who cares about Eggsy's girlfriend? The movie is currently dragging its feet all because of this one girl. James Bond is single for a reason. He never has to deal with crap like this. Tilly should not even be in the movie. She should have been a one-night stand and that was it. We never needed to see her again! But in a last-ditch effort to fix Harry, Eggsy forces him to remember the most traumatic experience of his life, shooting his dog, Mr. Pickle.
You're quite mad.
What? What's the problem?
Eh?
No, you can't.
Shoot you.
No one's sick enough to shoot a puppy.
Well, what about you, Harry? You were sick enough to shoot a puppy. Do you remember?
It was a blank.
Yes, Harry. Yes.
It was a
Yes,
blank.
Harry. That's right. It was a blank.
I would never hurt Mr. Pickle.
Yes, Harry.
He lived to a ripe old age. He died of pancreatitis.
All right, Harry! Woo! Now these guys' memory back, this movie can get going! So the group goes to the bar, where some bullies pull a line straight out of the comics.
How do I look?
You look
Like some it looking for an eye f***ing.
And if you've seen the first film, you know exactly what comes next.
Manners?
Yes?
Maketh?
Oh yeah!
Man.
Here it comes!
Do you know what that means?
Then let me teach you a lesson. Yeah!
Are we going to stand around here all day? Or are we going to...
Ooh, Harry, no! So, just to emphasize how long he's been out of the game, we see the same bar fight from the first film, but this time Harry gets his ass handed to him. Then Agent Whiskey steps in and really teaches the dicks a lesson.
Manners maketh man.
Pedro Pascal, like a boss. So it's explained that since Harry just regained his memories, he isn't back at 100% yet. And for a while, he'll have periodic zone-outs where he sees imaginary butterflies. Okay. Meanwhile, Julianne Moore gives her demands to the President of the United States. She will release an antidote to save the infected drug users if he legalizes all drugs and offers her full immunity for her crime. The President pretends to cooperate, but it's revealed he actually has an ulterior motive.
We appear to agree to her demands, and then let the junkie scum go down in flames.
Politicians. We're just numbers on a spreadsheet compared to them. So they quarantine all the infected drug users and stack them like Lego bricks. The strange thing is, Moore mentions that she has the antidote stockpiled in warehouses all over the world. So shouldn't law enforcement be looking for those warehouses so they can distribute the cure in the event Moore doesn't cooperate? Unless you want to tell me no police officer had a family member develop a blue rash, and none of them want to save their loved ones. Highly unlikely. Next, Eggsy, Harry, and Whiskey discover the location of Moore's antidote factory, and they attempt to sneak in to steal a sample so they can reverse engineer the formula. Eggsy and Whiskey go to the factory itself, while Harry takes out the control center guy. But he's still not back in the game yet.
Oh, so sorry about this.
Galahad, come in!
Whose idea was this? It's not cool to see him broken, it's just sad. Eggsy and Whiskey get out with an antidote sample, but Charlie has one last trick up his sleeve. Okay, what's the point of that? Why would anyone build a ski lift that spins around? What, no one could just walk to the other side to get a different view? Why would you even make this a feature? So we get some trailer fodder, then the trio reconvenes at a cabin where... Oh, yeah, Whiskey's the bad guy. This is what I love, when plot twists don't come out of just nowhere. You can clearly tell by his body language and the way he looks at the bottle that he wants to break it. Get down! And apparently Harry sees it too, and Harry shoots the trainer. Harry, no! Believing Harry still has poor judgment, Eggsy saves Whiskey's life with the same alpha gel that saved Harry. While Whiskey recovers, Merlin and Ginger Ale search the Golden Circle's email servers. They discover coordinates to Moore's hideout, and the last remaining agents fly to the hideout to force her to release the antidote. That's right, all of them. Eggsy, Harry, and Merlin. So basically, it's the ending of the first movie all over again. There are moles in the organization, and they don't know who to trust, so it comes down to 3 agents to save the world. So the agents fly to Cambodia to take down Moore's operation, and of course, nothing goes wrong. Just kidding!
This spray will freeze the trigger mechanism. I want you to...
You know, Lane, you could have put a rock down on the button and see if that held it down. Seriously, why is this necessary? You don't need to kill yourself, man! Just weigh it down with something else! Anything else! But whatever, Merlin sacrifices himself for the mission in the most over-the-top way possible.
Country roads, take me home to the place I belong. West Virginia, Mountain Mama, take me home, country road.
That was totally necessary. Yep, he definitely needed to die, and he totally needed to sing Country Road. So after a good 20 minutes of filler, what do we finally get? What else? Action! From here on out, it's exactly what you came to see. Cool gadgets, martial arts, guns, explosions, henchmen getting crushed by giant donuts, cyborgs hellbent on revenge. It's everything you'd expect to see in a spy movie. I just wish we didn't have to wait through so many of these scenes.
I'm a lepidopterist.
You're a what?
I study butterflies.
Snore. Give me the action! Yeah! Now that's Kingsman! That's what I came to see! While Eggsy fights Robocop's nephew, Carrie goes after Julianne Moore. But she summons her Robo-Dogs, Benny and Chet. Okay, you are an Elton John fan. They try to rip Harry to shreds, but get stopped in the funniest way possible. That's right! Moore programmed them not to attack Elton, which gives Harry the chance to crush their brains.
Thank you. Now, go off and save the world.
If I save the world, can I have 2 tickets to your next concert?
Darling, if you save the world, you can have a backstage pass.
That's a line only true Kingsman fans will get.
Sorry, love. Gotta save the world.
If you save the world, we can do it in the asshole.
Darling, if you save the world, you can have a backstage pass.
As in a pass to Elton's backstage. Wink, wink. Eggsy defeats Charlie by hacking his robo arm, and this time he finishes the job.
This is for Kingsman. For my mate Brandon. For Roxy. For JB. And for Merlin.
Oh boy, what's he gonna do to him?
Good night, bruv.
That's it? That's the big finish to the final battle between them? Weak! So they inject Moore with an overdose of her own toxin and ask her for the password to release the antidote. Yeah, she has literally no reason to give it to you now. If she's already gonna die, why would she tell you the password?
Viva Las Vegas.
Huh? Why would she tell them? I would have said, you know what? If I die, the world dies with me. Bye! So armed with the password, they can now save everyone's lives. But first, guess who comes back?
So?
Of course. Harry was right, and he was in fact a double agent. Something any observant person could tell you.
Our agencies were founded to uphold peace, to protect the innocent.
Do you want to know who was innocent? My high school sweetheart, pregnant with my little boy. He'd be about your age now, if his mama hadn't got caught in the crossfire when 2 meth-head freaks decided to rob a f***ing convenience store. A world without those people in it sure smells like peace to me.
Luckily, they get the upper hand on him and pop him in Julianne's slicer.
Put alpha gel on that, dickhead.
Yeah, not as good a line as,
This ain't that kind of movie, bruv.
that line is timeless. So the antidote gets released, all the infected drug users are saved, and the president gets impeached for conspiring to commit mass genocide. Then Champagne tells the agents that the statesmen bought a distillery in Scotland and are going to rebuild the Kingsman headquarters. To fill Whiskey's shoes, ginger ale is promoted to an actual drink. Hooray! I don't care. And Eggsy marries Princess Tildy. I still don't care. And Tequila becomes a Kingsman? What? Nope. Nope. Horrible miscasting. You want Channing Tatum to play a cowboy? Fine. You want him to play a stripper? Fine. You want him to play an undercover cop? Well, even that's a bit of a stretch, but fine, I'll allow it. But you expect me to take him seriously as a proper gentleman? Nope. You have clipped the suspension cord of disbelief. There's no way I'm buying that. And that was Kingsman: The Golden Circle. Yeah, it has its faults, but honestly, I'm still glad I saw it. Like I said, this isn't a bad movie, but it could have been done a lot better. It was cool to see Colin Firth come back, but it also undermines the sacrifice in the first film. And it was cool to see so many big names in this, but I wish they would have done something with them. And of course, the fight scenes were awesome as usual. But before you get to that, the amount of fluff you have to sit through is unbearable. You want to know why the first movie is so much better? Sacrifice, betrayal, corrupt politicians. This movie had all that, but it was done so much worse. The sacrifice in this one is easily avoidable and meaningless. And the corrupt politician is just one guy, not an entire world turned against them. And the betrayal last time was implied to be the whole organization. If they went up as high as Arthur, you didn't know who to trust. Anyone could have been a double agent. But this time it's just one guy, so it's not that much of a shock factor. While the first film was paying homage to the old James Bond movies, this film was clearly paying homage to the new ones. There's just one problem. I hate the new Bond movies! Well, it's true, I don't like the new ones. They spend way too much time giving us character development, and not nearly enough time giving us the cool stuff that puts spy movies on the map. They even stated this in the first Kingsman.
You like spy movies, Mr. DeVere?
Nowadays, they're all a little serious for my taste. The old ones. Marvelous. Give me a far-fetched theatrical plot any day.
Which is why they satirized the classic spy movies of yesteryear. And the result was a masterpiece. If you're a fan of Scream, then you'll know what I'm talking about here. The Secret Service was a legit spy movie, but also a satire of those movies. It takes itself seriously, but also takes enough time for comic relief that it doesn't become fantastic. Like when Harry goes undercover at the hate cult, the self-righteous preacher is filling up his flock's head with lies. Harry decides he's heard enough of this moron, so he gets up to leave.
Where are you going? Hey, what's your problem?
Oh no, his cover's about to be blown! What will he say?
I'm a Catholic whore, currently enjoying Congress out of wedlock with my black Jewish boyfriend who works in a military abortion clinic. So hail Satan, and have a lovely afternoon, madam.
I salute you, sir! It would have been easy for him to say, I need to get some fresh air, or I just left something in the car, but instead he gives one of the greatest and funniest lines in the history of cinema. That's what made the first film so good! A perfect blend of action and humor. But in the second film, we don't get much of either one. There's a little bit of humor, but not nearly as much. And while the last film was basically pure adrenaline, this film is slow. Really slow. I don't want to see that. I want to see spies being awesome. I want to see a character develop over the course of the movie, having learned something by the end of it. You know what Ace learned in the last movie? Humility. He learned that you can blame the class system all you like, but at the end of the day, you and you alone have to make the choice to put your best foot forward. Just being born with a silver spoon doesn't make you successful. You need to respect the power you are given and use it wisely to form the life you want to live. And in the end, a street boy that used to nick cars became an upstanding gentleman. But what did he learn in this movie? Actually, it doesn't have to be him. What did anyone learn in this movie? We learned that Merlin had a death wish, whiskey was prejudiced toward drug users, and this movie hates females, making them either a corpse, a secretary, or a sadistic nutjob who promotes cannibalism. There's no development of any of these characters. You're not showing them grow and evolve. Sure, Halle Berry becomes a full agent at the end, and Channing Tatum joins the Kingsman. But we didn't see their journeys up to that point. There's nothing satisfying about this because we barely know anything about these characters. Bottom line, if you're a fan of spy movies, I do recommend it. But I highly recommend watching The Secret Service first. That movie is a lot better. I'm the Invisible Man, and when there's a sequel that's just sort of, I got it covered.